I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make a new intro. Hello out there in Videoland, it's me again, the Lazy Video Gamer, and welcome to the Lazy Video Gamer Show. Well, I have a fantastic little show for you this week. I have the sports games of the Sega Saturn as topic, but I have to mention two things. First, I don't have any football or baseball games in this show. Why? We Europeans are not that much into this sport, so my opinion wouldn't count. I have some baseball games, but I rarely play it. And I also don't feature any soccer games in this episode. Why? It's simple. Soccer is in Europe very popular, and there were a lot of games for the Sega Saturn in this type of sport, so it would need an own video. Well, that's all I want to say, and now let's roll. And I start with a banger from the arcade, Athlete Kings, and yeah, it is an awesome game. Simple, but very well made, with the typically stereotypical cast of characters to compete in different sport events. 100-meter sprints, high jump, name it, the discipline is in it. Well, of course, NBA Jam couldn't be missed out, and here is it, the back in the day actual incarnation NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Here let me say early or mid life title, so it was for here in Europe clear that this interpretation comes to the Saturn, and it brought everything with it. The hotspots, the choose mode, and the player scaling. Now what is funny about this game is we don't get it over here in Europe. It's an American exclusive. Why? Yeah, that's simple. It's College Slam, what is practically a successor to NBA Jam Tournament Edition. You see that in the hotspots and the items you can pick up who were changed. It was in America an early title, so it was released even before NBA Jam Tournament Edition came out. You had to choose various college teams and play in the same style like NBA Jam Tournament Edition. But yeah, only this occasionally appearing music. So it is a very quiet game, if you like to say. Now, if you love this stuff, maybe you have to go to Extreme. NBA Jam Extreme, yeah, was the last part on the Saturn. It was the same recipe than NBA Jam, a 2-on-2 basketball game with cool dunks, but in a 3D environment. Of course, Electronic Arts had still a strong point on the Saturn, so they supported it with all the franchises they had, and so also an NBA game came to the platform. It's more a simulation than easy fun, but it makes fun if you like the sports, of course. Now, also ice hockey was ported to the Saturn with, yeah, let me say, not the best but also not the worst graphic. It was a hockey game in typically EA sports game fashion. Now, digital pictures has to be mentioned. Why? Simple. I'm still loving the Mega CD, and they were notorious to publishing full motion video games on the Mega CD. So they were in a very good relationship with Sega and supported the Saturn as well with 2 games. One is Corpse Killer and one here is Quarterback Club. Practically, yeah, the name is program. You play as a quarterback in the ego perspective with full motion videos. Steps, loops, sliders from Sega themselves is not a 1080 snowboard game, but it is a snowboard game and it makes a decent job. There's cool music in it, good graphic, and brought me back then. A lot of fun. Well, JVC presents us Victory Boxing. What promises, yeah, a cool 3D boxing game. Let me say it that way. It isn't so cartoony and fun like Punch-Out. And it's not that polished like Electronic Arts Fight Night, who were not around yet, but maybe if you wanna dig in the sports and the game, you get some enjoyment out of it. But it's, let's face it, it's very clunky in the optics, and it plays also, yeah, not the best. Virtual Open Tennis, once again, it's not a predecessor to Virtual Tennis. And I had more fun with the classical tennis games in the 16-bit era than with this game. It has his charm in his presentation and raises expectations, but when it comes to the game itself, the basic stereotypical shenanigans character cast is in. And brought me not that much fun, maybe with more practice. What brought me a lot of fun was actually the first game from the series that I had back in the day, Winter Heat. Once again, it comes with this cool character cast, easy to learn, controls, hard to master, gameplay, various in this incarnation winter sports games. Sculptured software put WrestleMania, the arcade games, of course, in arcades and later to every platform out, and of course also on the Saturn, and it's a great port. I wasn't sure should I implant those games in my sports special, because it is in fact not really a wrestling game, it's more a beat 'em up game. But yeah, makes fun if you don't take it too serious to ringside. Now, the sequel was never an arcade, it was made for the home console market entirely. But here you don't see that really. It's really made in the style of an arcade game. Various characters from back in the day to choose from and to try to win. Now, this one is a wrestling game, Virtual Pro Wrestling featuring Virtuof. Means that you had a roster of Japanese wrestlers and 2 characters from Virtua Fighter, and they fitting in pretty well. What also fits is the gameplay mechanic. So from beginning to start, I had a great time when I'm playing this game. When I'm looking at the footage now, what I see clear in the back is that there are some photos from the audience and the host never change. But it's just a little detail, and the game itself is great. So, Gremlin Entertainment brought us a lot of sports games and also a golf. When I decided to implant golf games in this special as well, I had of course to choose from games that I own, but realized there are a lot of golf games out there, and yeah, they're mostly it's golf. They're mostly the same.
Nicely on the fairway.
A little twist there, a little touch on the other side is different, but in general it is the same core. Let me say it that way. Actual golf doesn't place bad.
Well, that was simply tremendous. Well, that shot's just short of the green.
Maybe has not the best optics, but it's worth a round. Now, for the footage, I took the Japanese version of Paddle Beach Golf. Why? Yeah, I'm the lazy video gamer and I recorded this footage with my Saturn cartridge. So on that cartridge is the Japanese version on it, and that explains why later the game is dubbed with Japanese audio. It was an official Sega sports game. It features the famous Pebble Beach Golf Club course and comes with a nice presentation. Full motion videos introducing the game.
一緒にラウンドするフレッグ・スタドラーだ。よろしく。
Hole number 1, par 4. Back tee.
Cool introductions of the courses made by the back in the day famous golf pro. When it comes to the game itself, it is also a basic golf game, but features a really cool graphic, if I'll be honest, with this full motion video player and caddy. So, and that was it for this week's episode of the Lazy Video Gamer Show. I hope you enjoyed it. In the meantime, I wish you a fantastic rest of Sunday, a great week, and don't forget, the better one wins.